Hey, what's up, guys? Happy Monday. Hopefully, everybody had a good weekend. I'm going to be repping some Packers gear because I'm happy about the results of yesterday. Not looking forward to going to San Francisco as they absolutely demolished the Minnesota Vikings. Impressive comeback by Kansas City. And then again, great win by the Titans. So just a great weekend of football. But we're here to talk basketball and who we like for this NBA DFS slate. And Matt's here. He just has no camera today.
I am here. My camera is defaulting right now, but it kind of works because you're in your Packers gear, and I can pretend like I'm in my Browns gear with a bag over my head.
Yeah, that kind of works. All right, guys. Before we get into today's picks, you know what we're going to talk about. Overlay Fantasy Sports. The link to them is below. I suggest if you haven't tried it yet, what are you waiting for? You know, a lot of you guys I've been seeing with some great results. We'll break down the NBA slate later. Let's have some fun. They're definitely putting out a variety of different kind of contests right now. They got the 5-pick shootout that you like, the head-to-head that I like, and of course, we both like the progressive jackpots with an opportunity to win big money. So whatever tickles your fancy, go give it a whirl today. We'll break down our NBA plays later. You'll have a good time. Excuse me. With an opportunity to win some good money. Go 12-0 in that $22 contest. Win $5,380 today, which would look good in anybody's checking account.
Amen.
All right, guys. So early in the day, I'm liking the slate. I feel like it's one of these one lineup days for me where I put all my biscuits or eggs into one basket because there's definitely some things I like about it. Before we get into the plays that we're looking at, guys, just want to reiterate, we've been running out of that sale the last couple of days. Welcome aboard to all the new members. We'd love to get a few more of you guys. Sign up to be a new monthly customer today. It's $30 a month, but you get half of your first month reimbursed. You'll get it by the end of the day. If you want to be a lifetime customer, it's usually $400, $300. What lifetime customers are is all future write-ups, videos, NFL, NBA, MLB. You get everything permanently, no future payments. Or an annual customer for $150. You get all three sports for 1 calendar year. The big sale is up. Let's go talk about it, and let's move into some of the plays today. And I'll start with a guy who, you know, we haven't really talked him over a lot, but I'm sure you have some interest. Hassan Whiteside is questionable today, but he says that he's probable. You know, he had a little bit of a sickness. He seems like he's good to go. Charlotte just gets crushed by bigs, and the fact that Whiteside is now priced down, I'm a guy who's been burnt by Whiteside a lot in the past. I really struggle to get away from him today. He's been my nemesis for the last 2 seasons, but this is such a good spot. It's such a cheap price. He's playing so well right now. I just don't know how I don't play him.
Yeah, he's a really tough fade, man. We talk about this. We've been talking about big men versus Charlotte. It's continued to work pretty much slate in and slate out. All your points are so true, man. He's now priced down. It's not like he missed a week because of injury. He was sick for 1 day. And matter of fact, he was sick the game before, and he played well. He lost run because they got blown out, but I'm not overly concerned with the sickness. Again, he's now like $1,000 cheaper than he was the last slate. I don't consider him like, you know, the ultimate must. Like, there's no way to get away from him, but he's a risky fade in all formats in my eyes.
Right, like it'd be so easy for him to drop 50 like this, and
Yes.
what I assume will be relatively high ownership, especially if he's given the good-to-go tag early in the day, without even really breaking a sweat. He's been an absolute machine blocking shots lately. He's averaging 3 per game on the year, and we've been watching him drop 5s and 6s and 7s lately. Charlotte is just an ultimate crush spot for a big man. I hate when Hassan Whiteside feels like a must because I feel like this dude's burnt me so many times. I just struggle not to play him today.
Same, and I also think Portland plays well today. They're coming off they got rolled on by Milwaukee, but Milwaukee's Milwaukee, and they got crushed by Minnesota the game before. I think they play a good game today, and that only means good things for Whiteside.
This game's got some real DFS appeal, too, on a day where there's not a ton of guys. You know what I mean? Like, not a ton of games that are appealing from a 30,000-foot view.
No doubt.
All right, next up. So you messaged me about this guy yesterday. Matt, obviously, is a Cleveland guy. And watching this young gun right here, Darius Garland, playing really well. I mean, this guy's got really good upside in 4 of the last 6 games. And they're not just coming against the likes of, you know, Detroit and the Suns and Atlanta. Like, he's had good games against good teams.
Yeah, he had a really good game last time out against Denver. He's really just coming into his own, that third bullet point. I watched a bunch of that game in Denver, and I saw his post-game interview. You can just tell this is a guy that's really starting to get it, really starting to find his role in the offense. You know, was their first-round pick, top 5 pick this year, so a guy that the Cavs obviously think has a ton of potential. Again, for the minutes he's playing, for the upside that he's shown, he's really affordable at 4,800. And is he in a great spot on paper? No. But he wasn't in a great spot on paper last week or last game against Denver, No Davis certainly doesn't help the Lakers defense here. And again, his offensive talent is just better than a guy who should be priced at 4,800. Coming into his own, I've watched him a bunch recently. I like him quite a bit here. And I actually think this game, with how the Cavs are playing, they played really well in Detroit a couple games ago in that overtime win, and then last time out they won in Denver. They're not going to beat the Lakers tonight. They're a 14-point dog for a reason. But I think this game is more competitive than other games we've seen the Lakers just roll in. That's all I'll say.
So is Davis officially ruled out all of a sudden, or is that just your theory he won't play tonight?
That's just my theory.
Okay. I was going to say I checked a half hour ago, but I hadn't looked since then. So
I thought I said if, but maybe I didn't.
Okay. I'm kind of assuming he doesn't play because this doesn't seem like a game that they need him.
Right.
So I wouldn't think he would be in there, and it definitely hurts their defense. Oh, side note, though. I mean, the Oklahoma City Thunder should be embarrassed losing to the Lakers like F squad the other day. No Davis, no LeBron, no Danny Green. And to get rolled on like that for a team that we've been impressed by this year, that was really pathetic.
It was pathetic, man. But I talk about this. You've got guys like Kuzma and Rondo that really haven't had a chance to play like themselves all year. And they finally got to show out last time out. You mentioned that about someone else that's bogging my mind right now, but it was a similar comparison. So moving on.
All right, next up. So speaking of the Lakers and the Cavs, here's another one that's probably going to be a tough fade in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if Anthony Davis gets ruled out. There's a couple guys on the slate, and we'll get into a lot of detail of this on the members-only video, that are just – the price seems almost criminal. Like, why the hell is LeBron 9,500? I don't get it. Cleveland – they've been playing some better basketball lately, but I think we all know their defense is, less than stellar. If AD is out, this might be one of the easiest cash game calls of the year. You're going to get a very chalky LeBron at only 9,500. I'm not the narrative guy, but we've seen LeBron play his old teams a bunch of times, so I don't read a ton into it. But if you're just looking for that extra little bit of motivation he's taking on his Cavaliers tonight in LA, how are they going to stop him? And if Anthony Davis is out, like I like LeBron no matter what at 9,500. But if Anthony Davis is out, this is one of the easier cash game calls of the season for me.
Yeah, it's one of the easier just plays overall, man. I'm with you. Like, it's just impossible to get away from him at this price point, especially if Davis is out. He could be 11,500. He could be 11,500 here, and that would be an okay price point, especially if Davis is out for this spot. This is one where I don't even care about Cleveland. I mean, I don't even think that he knows anyone on the Cleveland team anymore. So
Kevin Love.
True. And as you said, it doesn't hurt matters here. I'm sure he'll have a little bit of extra pep in his step tonight. It's just all about the price point here. Another guy that not like he missed weeks. He missed one game. I'm sure he's fine. I doubt they're going to be rushing AD back. I figured you'd bring up LeBron here, and I was not mistaken.
Yeah, it's the obvious call for the day, but sometimes we like to go back and forth. We like to bring up some more random calls, but we have to touch on the obvious because not everybody watches this stuff as closely.
Yeah, and this is one where like you have to bring up LeBron today because if you don't, then it's like, why didn't you bring up LeBron?
Well, and we could say, well, I figured you all knew, but sometimes you guys are busy with real lives. You have work, you have kids, you have jobs and stuff like that, and sometimes you just need to come here for the obvious.
Yeah, I'm with you. We needed to bring him up today.
All right, so going right back to the Blazers, you wanted to talk about CJ McCollum. And the only thing I could think of with the Blazers today is it reminds me of a baseball slate where like a team is priced to face Justin Verlander, so all their pricing is really low. But then all of a sudden he's scratched because Kate Upton, wants to bump uglies or something like that. He's not going to play today. And they call up a kid from AA. So now you got a crush spot, but yet they're all priced down because that's basically all of Portland today.
I was thinking about that same thing. You've mentioned that a couple of times this year. You couldn't be more spot on. It does seem a lot like that. It just doesn't make sense that McCollum is so cheap for this spot. Shooting guards have been crushing the Hornets. I mean, a lot of guys get to Charlotte, mostly big men, but shooting guards also. He's just in a really good spot. Assuming this game is competitive, and the only way I think this game is not competitive is if Portland rolls. Portland doesn't roll anyone, and that means they're going to be scoring a lot. He should walk into cash game value at this price with definite GPP upside depending on how this game plays out. He's also a guy, we talk about it a few times every year, 5 to 10 times every year. He's going to throw up a 50 to 70 DK point score. That could be tonight. Now, he's going to be popular because of the price, but this is a great spot for McCollum.
Mm-hmm. We've hit on this with Charlotte all year because there's a lot of times where guards don't do great against them. but that's because the big men eat so much that there's only so many stats to go around. Portland's not that team. Like Whiteside gets whatever, 2/3 of his stats via blocks and rebounds. Their scoring comes from McCollum and Dame. That's just where, in a little bit of Mello these days and things like that. So we've never really looked at Charlotte as this team that, like, we've seen point guards have bad games, that they're so good against point guards. It's like sometimes the big men just eat to the point there ain't any food left. I don't worry about that with Portland because their scoring comes with their really good backcourt.
Yeah, agreed 100% there. Great spot for the Blazers here.
Yeah, and they also don't play good enough defense to stop Devontae Graham and Thierry Rozier and things like that. Like Portland has become one of the absolute top places to look for DFS points every single day because one, they can score it. Two, they can't stop
it. They've become almost more desirable than Washington because of what you just said. They're good offensively and they're so bad defensively. Washington is so bad defensively, but they've been a little bit better without Beal, and you never know what you're going to get from them offensively because they don't have good players.
Yeah, this is true. Whereas, you usually can count on Damian Lillard, McCollum, and now Carmelo these days to at least put up some points.
Yep.
All right, guys, thanks a lot. Best of luck tonight. The deals are up. Thumbs up is appreciated. Let's go win ourselves some money today, and we'll see you guys later for some overlay discussion.
Thanks, guys.